Right now, city leaders in Newport News say their hands are tied when it comes to a much-needed renovation project. We're talking about the historic Lee Hall Depot. Right now, some of the repairs are on hold because the city ended up in a tight financial spot last year, and officials don't want it to happen again. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens explains.
They're trying to preserve almost 150 years of history.
We're standing in front of the original 1881 Lee Hall Depot station.
The Lee Hall Depot in Newport News. Service ended in the late 70s, but the building's been undergoing renovation for several years now.
We have a building and we really want to make it more functional and useful for the public.
Kenneth Jones is the president of the Lee Hall Station Foundation, a group of people working to restore the old depot.
Cut my teeth on the railroad industry early on.
Jones says the city got a more than $3 million grant in 2005 to start fixing up the building. The outside work is done. Jones says more than $600,000 of that grant went towards renovating the inside.
We'd like to make this a destination for school children to learn about the history of transportation in Newport News.
The city's already done quite a bit of work on the inside, but this renovation project is on hold for now, like several other big projects in the city. There's still $75,000 that needs to go into finishing the inside. Last fiscal year, city officials had to dip into their cash reserves to cover an almost $4 million shortfall they experienced. They don't want to do that again. That's why last fall, the city manager implemented several cost-saving measures, which includes delaying larger projects paid for out of the operating budget, like this one.
Right now, we're looking to have the public step up.
Jones says the foundation is asking the public to donate and help them restore the old building.
We've come a long way.
And preserve its history. In Newport News, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.